Flex Couple fans, we're back. We're going to talk a little bit more into detail as far as food today. I know we did that last week, but we're going to do something a little bit different, though it did kind of pertain for last week's when we did our meal prep. So we're just going to kind of talk about how we set up our meal plans for the day, or how we know what we're going to be eating, so we don't get to, oh, it's time to eat, and then we just randomly throw something together.
Yeah.
So I'll let Cassie talk about hers a little bit, and then I'll talk about mine. Mine's pretty basic. Hers is a little bit more extensive. So.
Yeah. So first, I'll just sort of introduce this with, we both follow sort of different protocols as far as how we do our food, and they each work for us very well. Like, we're both seeing results with what we do, and so I would say, if you follow something closer to what I do, awesome. If you follow something closer to what he does, awesome. Like, whatever you do, if you're doing it, if it's healthy and if you're getting results with it, then do that. You don't have to do something just because someone else is doing it, and just because someone else is doing something different doesn't mean it's wrong. So, anyways, I definitely follow more of an if it fits your macros protocol. Now, when I say if it fits your macros, I am going to elaborate on that a little bit. I used to, when I hear the words if it fits your macros, I was like, you just eat whatever you want, and that not all the fats are the same or all the carbs are the same, and you have to eat strictly from nature if you really want to see the results. And I definitely had that kind of a view on it, but you can only eat the same few. In my experience, for me personally, I can only eat the same list of 10 foods for so long before I just go insane, before I need to go binge or just something. I can't handle that. So for me, what I do is I do it if it fits your macros, but it literally means I fit things into my macros. So if I'm really feeling chicken one day and I want chicken twice, I'll have chicken twice. If the next day I don't want chicken at all and I want a Quest bar and beef and egg whites instead, an egg white omelet, I'll do that. So
Quest bar sponsor us.
Yeah. So it's it's not just I'm fitting unclean things into my macros. It's just do you see I can't talk. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not just that I'm fitting terrible things into my macros. Like I said, sometimes I'll have 2 of the same protein source a day because I just really am feeling chicken that day or whatever. So, okay, I wanted to explain that first. So what I do, my routine is I generally wake up, eat a meal, go work out, come home, eat a meal. I know that I want about 50% of my carbs for the day to happen in those 2 meals. It doesn't have to be in the morning. It's just before or after your workouts, because that's when your body needs the carbs the most. So for me, I get about 50% of my carbs there. So I know, I don't write that down or track that yet, because I just know in my head I need X amount of carbs here, X amount of carbs here, and protein before and after. There's no question about it. So that is what it is regardless of the day. And so when I get back from my workout, I'll have my post-workout and I'll track that and I'll put it in my Fitness Pal and I'll write it down. I have a notepad where I write meal 1 through meal 6, and I'll write down what I'm eating for each meal. So meal 1 will be my breakfast and my pre-workout. Meal 2 will be my post-workout. And I'll enter those in my Fitness Pal. I use my Fitness Pal every day. And so basically the other 4 meals are just sculpted around what I want that day and what macros I have left after my pre and post workout. So if that day I'm you know what, a banana nut Quest bar sounds fire, or if I want to make sometimes I do a taco salad where I do spinach and beef and a little bit of fat-free sour cream and some tortilla chips. If I want to do that, I'll fit that in. If I don't want to do that, I'll do something different. It's just sort of what I'm feeling that day, and I will, for the most part, get my proteins out of the way. You're going to get some byproduct protein from whole wheat carbs and even fats like peanut butter. So I'll make sure the first thing I do is about 80% of my proteins accounted for. And then, because like I said, you're going to get to your protein level just from the other carbs and fats. Then I'll insert my carbs where I want them, and then I just sprinkle fats through, because your fats are likely going to be your littlest grams, macronutrients. And so you're going to get little trace amounts of fats from other things that you need to account before you put in fats like peanut butter and stuff, or at least that's what I do. So you'll get about 3 grams of fat from half a cup of oats. You'll get about 1.5 grams from brown rice. So factor that stuff in, and then like if you have room for like a tablespoon of peanut butter, put it in, whatever. So that's what I do. I just plan, what I'm going to eat based on what I know I have to eat for my pre and post workout. And if I feel like being super clean, like if I want chicken and rice, like if that sounds good, I'll do that. But if I want like an organic waffle, like with some blueberries on it, or if I want to make protein pancakes, like I'll do that. So at the end of the day, if you're hitting your macros and you're hitting your micros as well, like if you're hitting your fiber and you're getting your, your vitamins and your minerals, somehow everything should work out just fine. So that's how I do it.
I eat the same thing day in and day out. It works for me. I don't really have to plan out. I don't really have time in the morning to plan out my day. I'd rather just have set in stone. So when I go grocery shopping, I know get this, get this, get this, get that. And then I'm all set. So what I honestly do is my coach has me on a 3 days of 3,750 calories, and then I won't go through the macros though, and then a 4,500 day calorie, and a 5,500, just a single day of 5,500. And so I already wrote those out when I first got those and got the macros. Wrote out what the meal plan would look like. I wrote out the food, everything like that. I didn't count veggies. I don't count veggies until it gets closer to the show itself, and then I just eat it day in and day out, and I'm okay with that. I'm not huge into getting fancy with my food and everything. I'm more cut and dry, and I'm more food more for function, like Jay Cutler says. Which, I mean, I'm not saying if it fits your macros in my way, there shouldn't be any conflict with them. It's just whatever works for you, and that's what works for me.
Yeah.
And again, I'm probably the minority in that case.
Well, also, like, his calories are so high and his macros are so high. Like, I get comparatively to mine, I feel like if I was eating as much as he was, I wouldn't feel the need. I'd be so full all the time, I wouldn't feel the need to, like, be creative with my food. So that plays a role too. And he doesn't have time. I mean, he's eating, like 4 times the macros I am, so he doesn't have time to sit down and, like, factor that, every single morning. So it's really whatever works for you. Also, like, some of the things that I do, like my protein pancakes, there are 3 ingredients, and they are very clean ingredients. It is protein powder, coconut flour, and egg whites. And then I just put Walden Farms macro-free syrup on top of it, some spray butter, which is also macro-free, and today I threw in some blueberries, and so, like, whatever, you want to do. And it's just very much whatever works for you, whatever keeps you mentally and physically satiated is what you should do. Like my last prep, I was definitely more cut and dry with what I was eating day in and day out, and I had a huge cheat meal every week, and like I still lost weight and everything, but could I have placed higher? Like, if I wasn't doing the cheat meals and I had very scheduled refeeds like I do now, we're going to find out. So, and I don't feel the need to really go out and do big cheat meals, because, like, if I want, like, I got my favorite chocolate the other day, like, I factored one of them in, like, whatever. I just didn't have peanut butter that day because it took out the fat. So, do what makes you happy, do what makes you the best competitor you can be.
And this whole argument between if it fits your macros or clean eating or whatever, I think it's not necessary. Whatever works for you, like we've been saying. So, as you can see, we're in a happy relationship, and we both have different tactics. So, as long as we get up on that stage and represent ourselves and beat ourselves every time, we're just happy to be up there. So, thank you all for watching, and we'll post another video next week.
Yep. If you have any questions, please let us know. Follow us on Instagram, Viva_Law_Cassie, and Prather Nation. So if you have any questions or topics we should talk about next time, please let us know, and have a great and fit week, Fit Fam.